I was I was I was I was on Craigslist and there was an ad saying that someone was doing a social experiment, and if you would go up to Arlington, like take the subway or take the metro, go up to Arlington, Virginia, and meet them at the park, they would
It sounds so bad already.
no, it gets worse. They would they would tickle you. I can't hold it together.
All right, Aaron, give us a cold open.
Cold, I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. Give us some heat.
36 degrees out there today. We're here recording the Hypotheticals podcast.
Woo!
Not sure what we're going to talk about today, so I guess we'll find out. It's about as cold
Welcome to
as we're gonna get.
Hypotheticals. Yeah, like Aaron said, you're going to find out real quick after these messages. But Jake Myers, your host of Hypotheticals, here with Andy McGregor and Aaron Myers. We had a brief introduction of all of you guys last week. So if you want an introduction that'll make you blush, go back to episode 1. They gave some pretty good ones. But what's up, boys? How we doing?
Living the dream.
Making it through the end of a work week. You guys both look fried.
Feeling really good. I'm excited for tomorrow. Guys, I'm down to I'm back in a new class, a new weight division.
You're at fighting
Oh
weight?
yeah?
I'm getting close to fighting weight. Yeah.
Dude, where are we? Wait. I thought we were still going up.
No, I'm coming back down to the next class.
Okay. Where are you?
I'm down 6 pounds from
Are we like quadratic formula
Thanksgiving.
or logarithm?
Dang.
No, still linear.
You can't go up and down and be linear.
I don't know.
It's a parabolic.
Like I said last time, you're
Oh,
good
we're
at math.
talking absolute value, a negative absolute value equation.
Surpass. That's what I know. Yes, it is negative.
Oh man. Yeah, I did a race today and it was brutal. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. I was hoping you guys
I
would
saw your
totally...
finish. I want. Well, I'm here to talk to you about.
You watched it?
I did.
So for the listeners, we have a Zwift account, which is like bike, I don't know, like Need for Speed with bikes, except way less cool. So you just do bike races. You have your bike hooked up to a little, well, here you go. Your bike hooked up to that little machine, and you have a little video game monitor, and you race bikes with real people.
8th place, huh?
Yeah, wasn't great.
I didn't get the impression you gave it the full beans at the sprint, or were you completely dead?
There was a climb right before that, and I'd
Okay.
given it the beans at the climb, and I just didn't have enough left.
The remaining beans.
Okay.
Dude, you watched it? How do you watch it?
It was on Strava.
Oh,
The final.
I thought you were watching live. Yeah, I thought you were too. I was like,
Oh,
man, I'm
no,
gonna have to
no.
pull out some beans, pull out some more beans from somewhere for the next one. But I think I do have a little bit of an excuse. Maybe I was just kind of like, portraying how I was feeling onto you guys. This work week has been rough, man. I got just like absolutely blitzed by a student yesterday. Like it was absurd. And it got me thinking, I need a new job, right? And what could be a potential side hustle? And I've come up with my idea for that. But it all started from the point where I was thinking, what do I want for the holidays this year? And I wanted to ask you guys if you have anything on your wish list, because I've come up with mine and I've got a couple ideas for how to make it a reality.
I'm like racking my brain to figure out where this is headed. Um,
I accidentally did both of the lead-ins for it, so it's really hard to follow. I had two ways to go, and I took both of them.
okay, well, right now I'm like still like rocking a pair of joggers that Andy bought me. Like
Is Andy
8 years
frozen in your screen?
Yeah,
Oh,
okay, he's back.
shoot.
Um,
Okay.
I'm rocking a pair of joggers that Andy bought me about 8 years ago, and those are like the one pair of joggers I have. So new fancy joggers. It's one thing on my
Okay.
Christmas
Oh
list.
wow. Wow, it's a big step up.
Yeah.
Just got new snowboard goggles. They're from
Ooh.
Rachel, but I got some new Oakleys.
Ooh.
Yeah. Last
Oakley's.
year, last year I put my snowboard goggles on after, I don't know, probably not wearing them for 2 seasons, and the black was like disintegrating. I had like this circle around my eyes.
So when you say from Rachel, does Rachel know about them?
Yes, yeah, and she
She
also got
does now.
snowboards. Yeah, she got snowboard boots from me,
Oh,
so she's
nice.
going to be looking good too.
Heck yeah.
Aaron, are yours
All
Van
right, Jake.
Rysel? No, Von Zipper,
My
right?
what?
Your goggles. I was like, Van Rysel, is it? That doesn't matter. It's not
I
interesting.
don't know. Pretty cool.
Uninteresting. So I came up with something pretty simple. I'm a teacher and I have a lot of free time, so I kind of peruse the internet on my planning block and sometimes when I should be teaching. And I think the value gift of the year is a 2004 Corvette C5 Z06. And I have, wasted all my time researching. I know the first five maintenance items I have to do once I purchase mine and bring it home. I know the main three things to watch out for and the three most dangerous things that, the potential car could have going on. I just don't have the funds or the approval to get it. So what I've been doing is telling all my classes that that's what I want for Christmas because there's got to be one kid and one family out there that appreciates the right teacher enough that they would randomly just like it's got to have happened once, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I have to believe it. But I know when it comes down to it, I'm not very confident either, which leads me back to getting a new career slash side hustle. When I was looking at new careers, it looked like most of them involved a lot of hard work. So that eliminated most of them right off the bat. But I thought back to, and Andy, I think I've told you about it. Aaron, I know you know about it because we applied together. The greatest potential side hustle of all time. There was this company like 3 or 4 years ago called Microbiome, Micro something that basically what they were trying to do is take people with a strong gut microbe, the bacteria in your gut that helps keep you healthy, and transplant that into people who didn't have that. And how they do that is they take your poop. So basically, this job that I applied for, you'd have to poop into a bag with dry ice, box it up, and ship it to this company every day. And every time you shipped it, you'd get $500. And I added this up, a conservative estimate, only one bowel movement per day, which is ridiculous. Like if I was getting paid for this, I'm saying two or three, easy. But let's say conservative, one a day. You're pocketing $180,000. Have you heard about this? Have I told you
Wow.
about this, Andy? So,
Yeah, I
anyways,
remember
I
you saying
apply.
this, but
Okay.
are you suggesting
No,
you've got good
no, 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 no,
microbes
no, 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 no. Oh, so
to
I
qualify?
mean,
How did
well, you're going to be able to answer that yourself once I tell you how far I made it through this process. So there was a rigorous application
what?
process, which first you had to give your like height, weight, your like athletic achievements, your age, your body fat percentage, all this. And if you make it past the first few steps, which I did, probably from lying, but I finally made it to the step where they were like, okay, prove it. So they said, you need to take a video of yourself with your shirt off. You need to take five other pictures shirtless, showing that you are below 10% body fat and that you have abs showing. And you have to be holding a card that says today's date. And then you have to, for the next 5 days straight, take a picture of your bowel movement
Oh,
with a date card on there. And of course I did it, dude. And like I like got the light perfect. I had Sapa like get the light all right so that it looked, my abs would show up and everything. And dude, I was so into it. I worked so hard. Like every poop, I was like, oh, that one's blurry. Got to take another picture. Like I was so focused on this. And I applied. Eventually, I got a response that said, like, your stool type is not what we're looking for. And that's when I told Aaron, and Aaron was like, well, what stool type are they looking for? And that's when he brought up, dude, this is probably the most elaborate scam of all time. And I realized
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
was probably 5 shirtless pictures of me and 1 shirtless video circulating like Thailand or Japan just on billboards. And then probably 5 days worth pictures of my poop somewhere, dude.
Yeah.
But I should have known it was too good to be true,
You,
man. I've been training
you're,
for that job my whole life.
yeah, watch out for the blackmail. That reminds me of in high school. You guys have heard about when I lost my job lifeguarding. I got fired from the lifeguard stand.
Uh-huh.
So later that summer, I was looking for things to do, and I was on Craig's. I was, I was, I was on Craigslist, and there was an ad saying that someone was doing a social experiment, and if you would go up to Arlington, like take the subway, take the metro, go up to Arlington, Virginia, and meet them at the park, they would.
It sounds so bad already.
No, it gets worse. They would tickle you. I can't hold it together.
Oh my goodness. Dude. We
I
got
feel like this
all
was
feel
before like
subscribed.
internet scams were the norm, though.
Oh, I know. So they said they would tickle you in the park, and
How old were you?
Naturally, you were intrigued.
I was, yeah, I know. I was 20, and I was like, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I remember telling my parents like $200 to go get tickled.
What's the premise? Are you just like, how long can you last without laughing?
I have no idea, but there was someone real bad on the other side. It took me like a long time to realize that it's a good thing I didn't do it. My parents didn't say like, yeah,
go get your tickle on.
Every
Yeah.
20-year-old's dream.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh.
they almost got me.
So yeah, I mean, it sounds like side hustles are not the move. So Aaron, I'm still banking on one of those students just pulling it off. But yeah, maybe one of our 43 listeners has the means to get me a C5 Corvette Z06. Get in contact with me. Get in touch with me. Hey, we could all use one. Andy and Aaron, I know, would take one as well.
I'd settle for a pair of joggers. You guys send you some links.
But since since that's potentially not going to work out, I wanted to lead us to our actual hypothetical question of the day. Although the side hustle one was pretty good. Hypothetical of the day. It's not, I mean, it technically is an Olympic year, but the Olympics already passed. But Olympics always spark a lot of conversations, like, which nations are going to be good at which sports, whatever. But the main thing I always find myself thinking is, like, is every sport as like extreme and tippy top as it seems? And my question for you is, if you had to do one Olympic sport, summer or winter, and simply not finish last, which sport are you picking and why?
Can we go over some assumptions first?
Yeah, sure.
Do we have time to train?
Let's say, let's say,
like what's the lead up?
let's say it's coming up that year.
12 months.
And you have you
year.
have the means that you have right now. Like I mean, you
Disposable
can use
income
your
that you have
money
now.
for it. Yeah.
Can we quit our jobs?
Yeah, but then you're quitting your job.
But like we're in the Olympics, like we're making the Olympics
You're
for
making
sure.
the Olympics, but it's not
Okay.
going to be like the money to help you live for the rest of your life. It's
Okay.
you just gotta, which sport are you picking? Olympics are coming up this year. Which sport are you picking to not come in last?
Mm.
All right. I think there's a few ways you can go with this, but I mean, this is actually something I've thought about a lot. At least Olympics. So, as soon as I heard where this was going, I was pretty pumped because I spent a lot of time thinking about um, Olympic sports. So, one more clarifying question: team sports, are they fair game?
Yeah, I want to say no because that was the when I was crafting this question, the first thing I came up with is, dude, I mean, so Aaron's a college soccer player. Andy and I played lacrosse, which I think is going to be in the Olympics. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, sixes in the
yeah,
LA Olympics. That's right.
but like, in soccer, sit out at right or left midfield, left wing, like you can not cause your team to lose. Right. So I'm gonna say let's cut out team sports because it kind of takes the fun out of it, even though that probably would be the best option, especially if you could be a sub. So let's for sake of argument, no team
No team
sports. So
sports.
yeah, good clarification.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm going through the events that you're most likely to have a DNF. And I think like clearly, like if you're gonna have like if there's an event that's gonna have DNFs, it's the marathon. So I'm going into the marathon and I'm like, I'm gonna finish this race. And like immediately I'm gonna be in last place. But like I want to say Kipchoge in the last Olympics didn't finish. Like it's in the summer, it's gonna
Mm.
be hot. People are going to get tired and quit. People who are going for the win. So I think I could do a marathon, not finish last, just by the sake of like finishing. So I'd be the last finisher.
Do they have a cutoff though?
I feel like we need to look that
Like,
up.
because yeah, I mean, they got to have roads closed down and everything for that,
The
right? And if they're
Olympics, they
using, dude, you can't finish if they move the course. So what is trials are, you said 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that?
the cutoff times. Oh, that's qualifying time. Um,
Because that changes everything, right? Like, I mean, that's a good argument, but if there's a cutoff time, you might be forced to drop out from that one. Dude, and you're gonna suffer. But yeah, I guess, I mean, not finishing last is not finishing last. Can you imagine being pity clapped at the Olympics though? Dude, like just sauntering by. And dude, it's not like you'd be coming from a country that didn't have the funds to send you. You'd be like repping the stars and stripes, just a solid 45 minutes behind everybody. Oh man. All right, well, while he looks for that cutoff time, Andy, what did you have any thoughts on which way you're heading with this?
Yeah. So I like has the most variability where like anything can happen. And my mind went to one that I'm also more proficient in, which would be snowboard cross. So it's, four riders at a time that are dropping in and racing down a hill with jumps and turns and banks.
Like
And it can be
downhill
icy.
skiing, but for snowboarding and like a little bit more of
Yeah.
a track, right?
Yeah, and just the fact that you have three other riders that are next to you means like elbows get thrown, people get bumped, and that variability, I think, could lead to a DNF, someone going out of the course. And even if I don't get a great start, I could be behind it, watch those three wrestling for try to get first, and I could potentially make myself able to get down the mountain without getting tied up in something.
Dude, so I have a thought about that. Watching it on TV, like everything
I
looks
think a
pretty calm. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
similar event like that in the oceans.
Can you hear Andy, Aaron?
jumping in and out.
All right, you had us
Okay,
at a
here. Let me
similar event.
let
Oh,
me
okay.
finish out the marathon talk real quick, and then we'll. So I couldn't find any time limits, but I did see. I looked up the last place finisher, so not including the DNFs, and they finished an hour and a half after the first place finisher to a standing ovation. So we're talking.
So you're gonna pull it off and get a standing ovation.
So, well, that's an hour and a half. I think I could do it within an hour and a half of the fast.
Dude, you're not even gonna be the last finisher.
So,
Wow.
Sign this man up.
Wow.
That's the final answer. I'm sticking with marathon. But I'm intrigued about the snowboarding.
Okay, I have something to bring up with snowboarding before you bring up your other thing.
Okay.
A few of those jumps are like, what, 45, 55 feet? Like, there's a few sketchy spots, like ice to ice, that you've got to land clean enough.
Yeah.
It might be tabletops, but...
Yeah.
But like Andy's thinking
just
on
ride
DNF,
up and...
right? Yeah.
I mean, I mean, you can call me out on this, but I think single Andy would be jumping over those. Like fatherless Andy would take those on. I'd have some second thoughts with kids.
Fatherless Andy, you can still have a dad.
childless Andy. Yeah. I think there's a. Have you seen that Formula One racer? That there's a quote from him. He's like, I knew that other competitor would put on the brakes ahead of this turn because he has a family to go back to.
He's got kids. Yeah.
That's it. Definitely probably changes your mindset a bit, but I think those are within reason. I don't think those jumps are out of the question.
Dude, but if you pull one of those method air, Lindsay Jacobellis method airs and just botch it on the last kicker. But you were talking about you were about to jump into another potential.
I'd look at speed skating for the same reason. So sprint, specifically the sprint version, where you got like, I think it's got to be like 8 people or at least 6 that start together.
I think it gets up to 6, but I'm not positive on that. Yeah.
But that one's wild. And that one, I mean, as long as there's no cut off time, I think there's a chance that there's crashes. But there's multiple heats, so like I don't know how that all works, how we factor in heats into not finishing last. Like,
dude, if you don't finish last in your heat, you don't lose overall. And then if you are last in your heat, I don't know. That was the first one I came to. I wasn't thinking DNF, like that hadn't crossed my mind, but I was thinking crashes. And for the same reason, at first, my first thought was like, dude, I can sit back. Remember that? I don't remember what year, but the dude was sitting in 4th place and the top 3 just all wipe each other out. Like that was Apollo Anton Ono's day and they all crashed each other out and the 4th place guy just skates there. But then I thought about, dude, the G's that they're pulling on those short things, they would have lapped me 3 times. Like, I think in 10 laps, in 10 laps, they're lapping me at least 3 times.
Yeah. Do you think you get pulled if you get lapped?
Yes.
Yeah, you've got
that's what I would be worried about. I'd be disrupting the race. So that was my first thought. And then I quickly was like, it can't be that. So I guess this one, I probably, by my own rule, would have to not be able to use because we said no teams. But after speed skating, I was like, well, like, where can I be like least consequential? And dude, I was thinking bobsled, and it's a team, so I'm gonna disqualify it. But I know that you've got to be just like shredded because you're getting that sled up to speed, and you've got to have a good sprint. I honestly think I would hinder the team, but I could keep up with the sprint and get in, especially if I was like the person in the back that just literally puts his head down and doesn't watch. But I don't think that's a fair one if we don't do team sports.
Also, those guys are all running 9.900 meters. And I know that because of Cool Running, so it's got to be true.
Dude, you had me. I was like, are they really?
Dude, I think they're fast, though. I think
they're fast. Yeah.
So
but like,
I've
got a bar, dude. I can make it look like I'm pushing when really I'm
But
being
you've got to
pulled.
have
So
some mass to be able to move that thing.
So speaking of, that's a good point too. But just throw this out. Speaking of Cool Runnings, didn't the coach in Cool Runnings, he was basically almost banned from the sport because he was cheating, and he was cheating by putting weight on the sled, wasn't
Inside the
he?
sled, yeah.
So it makes me wonder, Jake, are you big enough to be
Oh,
Yeah.
contributing your weight to this sled?
I'm
Like,
gonna have to get on your Thanksgiving
But
plan,
like,
dude.
well, that's the other thing. You have a year. Like, how much weight could you put on in a year? Like, if we're like committed to like you're an Olympian for life, dude, you could put on 80 pounds.
But could I keep up with the sled,
can you do both?
dude?
Dude, somehow I think you'd be a fast fat dude. I think you would scale them fast.
Dude, I think it was always my destiny, dude. I'm just fighting time for that
Dude,
one.
but does a 5'7", 230-pounder fit in one of those sleds? You'd be so wide.
We could adjust the rear fairings a little bit. Dude, yeah, because it'd all go right to my butt. Like I would like gosh. So, anyways, like regardless, I think I have to eliminate that one because it is a team sport. So I'm thinking the skeleton,
Yeah,
but
You're still gonna have to gain
I
weight.
yeah.
Same issue. What you can do
you
is, yeah.
think? But
I
so
bet you're
are
faster,
how
heavier.
big are the skeleton dudes?
I feel like you've got to be like long and skinny to be as aerodynamic as possible.
Yeah, my butt would cause like those vortex
And
generators.
like,
Actually, that's a good thing. That's a good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a
and if you're not,
spoiler.
you
Yeah.
just got to be heavy, right? To, like speed
You
up
got
the.
Yeah.
you got a rear spoiler.
Dude, so all right, so question. How many lead weights can I ingest for 30 minutes without dying? Because if I eat the weights, that can't be breaking a rule. That's just my pregame meal,
You're just
right?
built different.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
Like
guess
a few
lead poisoning, I'll be
grams.
blind. Oh no,
skeleton's a
I can
good
eat a
one.
whole lot. That yeah, so
um,
so skeleton was the one I was thinking. I
So,
think
th- what I also like about it is the right person is out there for skeleton, and they just haven't found that sport. There's so few people that have gotten to try it
and by
that
found you mean doesn't have thousands upon thousands of dollars to pour into it.
yeah.
Yeah. No, keep
I
going. Yeah,
just
you're right.
I just think like that's a sport that needs to be opened up to the masses and to shake it up. So you
at the
might
risk
be
of
you
sounding
Dude,
overly
people will die.
arrogant,
What were you saying, Aaron?
at the risk of sounding overly arrogant, I've thought about that with a couple other sports, and I think if we were to take out the like DNF thing and say
Mhm.
like you have to like not come in last place like among the finishers, I feel like the ski jump is a similar situation where like it does not look that hard. Like you have tracks down this like steep hill to go. You have to be willing to like put your life like on the line, but like there cannot be much to it. And I know like people are gonna be like our 42 viewers. There's probably a few that are gonna hate me for this,
Are
but
fuming, dude. Are fuming right now.
I think in a year I could learn everything there is to know about ski jumping,
Mm,
and I could beat one guy.
man.
Dude, I just think your body, the just piece of paper it is, if you catch a gust of wind, like you might win, but you're not landing on the ramp. You're landing 50 yards to the left.
All I know is Primoz Roglic is about the same size as me. I think maybe a little smaller, and he was a ski jumper.
I think it says more about cycling than ski jumping, though, is my theory.
You
I've
don't
never
think he's
done
the
it.
same shape as a
No,
normal?
I think road cycling, you just have to be fit. Like he was naturally fit. I don't think it takes that much talent. It takes a little bit, but like he crashes all the
Oh,
time. I
I
think the
see.
ski jumping was what he was actually better at. But I mean,
Mhm,
I guess I've heard like you have to angle the skis in the air based off of the wind to keep
mhm.
yourself on track. And that would be, but you're right. If you had a year, and I guess you'd have to shell out some big money, but
Yeah.
going in cold, I would say no way. But I guess if you include the year, I'm still going to say no way.
Yeah.
I was, dude, have you seen that meme that's like, I was trying to think of what it's called, luge. You know how there's like one man luge and there's like two man luge, and it says it looks like this sport was born out of a lie that got way out of hand because the two man luge is just, dude, just trying to get as arrow as possible, and it's just that's a wild sport. But dude, we all went, except for Aaron with the marathon, we all went to winter,
Mhm.
which I guess is like, yeah, Andy, you talked about like having the means. Like, if you have the means, I think there's more opportunities with those winter sports. Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna say swimming,
No
no
chance.
chance, dude.
No
Like, I am
chance.
not touching the pool. I'm not like I could dive into the water, but I'm not. I'm coming in last place on the dive. The water just no chance, dude. I think that the Olympians could finish a 400 before I finished a 50. Like they could do back forth before. And I'm not even like joking. Like I really think they could. Like no chance. The track would be even more embarrassing
Yeah.
because there's a whole stadium watching. Dude, a whole stadium watching me finish 3 seconds after in the 100 meter. Like just absurd. No chance. Like the steeplechase and stuff, those guys is VO2s and everything. Like no chance.
Yeah.
Um, one of the things that I was like, maybe was that
Ooh. Ooh.
duathlon or biathlon. But then I was like, wait, I'm not fit enough and I don't know how to shoot a rifle at a target. Like that would be the
Yeah.
worst.
That'd be
That's
horrible.
biathlon. So I was thinking about that one too. Um, I shoot funny. So I'm pretty sure when you shoot, you need to, if you're shooting with your right hand, use your right eye to look down the barrel. And I've have you guys
Every
learned
time
this?
I've done it, hold on, let me.
I'm
Are you
intrigued.
I'm
so
ambidextrous. I can use either one.
I think that's how it works. I think you're supposed to use your right eye as you shoot with your right trigger finger. But I got an
I
astigmatism in that eye, so I cross over and put my left eye over the barrel. But what are
That's
you
what
doing,
I
Jake?
do.
You
Left
do?
eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I
I
also
might
have an astigmatism though.
All right. I don't know if I have an astigmatism. I also don't know how I shoot a gun. I'm going to sit this one out.
So I think the endurance piece of it, like man, I don't know that group is built different. It's all like
Yeah,
Norwegians
that's
Mhm.
and
yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to compete
Yeah.
there. But I will say, you got me thinking about the track. One event
Dude,
that
watching cross country skiers go downhill makes me think there's a chance when they're just
I don't know,
like
dude. I feel
wiggling
like
it.
that's the one event that like you'd never have a chance.
Yeah.
mm,
It's just like
I
pure
would
endurance athletes.
um any idea how fast those walkers are going? Like the speed walking? That's an Olympic sport, right?
Yeah,
It is an
dude,
Olympic
it's
sport. Isn't it
fast.
close to 6 minute
I
miles or
think it's
something?
like
Is
6 minute
that
miles.
Okay.
It's
So
pretty fast.
I was
And
thinking you, Aaron. Yeah.
dude,
and
I
the
You're
wear
looked at
and
what
tear on your hips?
it's a
yeah.
weird thing. They like
But they take
like
bathroom breaks in the
no, they
long
They
ones.
all
Yes, they do, dude,
what?
and they bluff. I read it was a Sports Illustrated, dude. I read an article about this. They will bluff and sometimes go on a breakaway, and people will be like, "Oh, he's getting ahead to take a poop break," and then sometimes the other people will follow him, like, "Oh, you're bluffing," and then they'll take a poop break. Apparently,
No way.
yeah.
All I know about it
By the
is
way,
there's
we
like
got
a
less than a minute, so if it cuts us off, I'll just throw us
okay.
back on. But go ahead.
Um, there's like a very like strict guidelines for what counts as walking, which I don't remember all of it. And you get like
But always
strikes.
has
They're
to
actually
be.
walking, and you like can get strikes. So the only thing I was thinking is like if you can just situate yourself in the middle of a bunch where no one can really
mm.
see you to give you strikes, then you just have to run and like have your run look enough like a walk that no one's like giving you strikes,
So you're gonna go
and you'd
cheat in
have a
the
shot.
Olympics.
But
I
it's
don't know. I don't
pretty
know, dude.
fast running even.
Yeah, that's the thing. It'd still be hard, and yeah, you if you get too many strikes, you have to like stand on the side of the road for a minute or something. It's a strange sport.
Yeah. So I got another direction to take this, but any consensus on what the best one is?
I
And I
do
think
think Aaron would meet his objective, like running a marathon. I
I
think
think
he's
that's
got that one. Yeah, he's safely there.
Dude, if I do the short track speed skating and just line up on the inside, swipe somebody around the first corner, like I might have a chance.
You think you can get off the line as fast as
I was
all of
gonna
them?
say, how much
No,
distance would they like get on you in the first 5 yards? I wonder.
especially with skates that are like 18 inches long, dude. I would stumble and trip over, yeah, instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the snowboarding one was good. I'm going skeleton, dude. I think I'm coming in not last from some low budget country that sends one person to
That is true.
skeleton.
That's a good point. The low budget countries might have someone thrown into some of those events that
Like
just do it.
breakdancing in Australia.
Yeah, I didn't even bring up breakdancing. That one was just like too absurd. Like, yeah, wild.
But to
All
that
right,
point,
what?
like there can be some amateurs out there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All
What are
right,
you
what's your
talking about,
twist?
dude? She was ranked top 10 in the breakdancing.
Yeah.
All right, so I did some research on this, because you got to do some research, and I found some of the most, I'll say, peculiar sports that ever made it into the Olympics. Now, to my
Mm,
knowledge, none of these are currently in them, but I want you to weigh in on these sports, and I want us to decide who of us three would be the best at each of these given sports. Okay? Everybody good on the assignment?
yeah.
Hmm.
Number one, dude, wild live pigeon shooting.
Okay. Like skeet shooting, but shooting
Or
at
like live
pigeons.
But
pigeons.
like real pigeons, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Are
Well,
they?
we know Aaron's not going to win because you
Hold
don't
up,
even
I
know
might be
what
the only
eye
one
to
that shoots
use.
with the correct eye.
You don't even know that. You might have astigmatism in both eyes.
Uh, Andy was a shoo-in for this one until he told me about the astigmatism.
I
Mhm.
also have shot skeet before, and like I hit some of
I'll
I'm going
I'll
with
give you
Andy.
that one.
them.
No, Jakey, you're on my
This
boat.
this one's hurting my feelings more than I thought it would already.
Live
Can you
pigeons.
imagine just watching pigeons just get obliterated by
That's
birdshot
wild.
on TV?
Yeah.
It was a while ago. Okay, chalk that off as a win in my. All right, here we go, dude. This one, I am so bummed this one doesn't still exist. The most absurd, like greatest idea ever. Obstacle course racing. They set up an obstacle course and you have to climb over stuff, swim, run, all sorts of stuff. You just have to get to the finish line first.
Mm. This one's
Wow.
100% Aaron.
It
Yeah.
depends what the um is it like tag? I feel like if it was like tag, be Jake.
It's not tag. It's
It's a
getting from point
race.
A to point
Okay.
B.
And if there's swimming, I think Jake's out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh dude. Yeah. Dead. Not even like losing. Dead.
Dead.
I'd throw a vote in my corner for this.
Yeah, I would agree.
That'd be a
Dude,
fun one. I think all three of us would do pretty well
oh
compared
yeah.
to the
Dude, you know what it
average.
made me think of? If they put capture the flag in the Olympics, how
Mm,
wild people would go.
that would be a good one.
That would be
Dude,
fun.
so good. So
Yeah.
Olympic Committee, you heard it here first. All right, next one on the list. Oh, dude, this is my favorite one of all time. Hot air ballooning.
What? What? And like you have to get from point A to point B, land in a
I don't
target.
even know.
What?
I think it's a race. I think it is a hot air balloon race. But
Wow.
dude, you can't steer them. You can just go up and
Up or
down.
down and let the wind take
The
you away.
greatest, the greatest event. Dude, you're not coming in last in hot air balloon racing. You got a heavy trigger finger, heavy throttle. Like you're not losing.
I bet there's an element of like running to your balloon too. Like you probably all start outside of it and have to race to
Dude,
it.
I bet they were wearing three-piece suits when they did this one. But I would guess that it would involve understanding like air and wind and weather. So I'm going to take myself out of the running for this one because I would not take the time to understand how things work up there.
I feel like strangely enough, this one was like handmade for like Andy's skill set.
You have to juggle while you're in the air as
I
well.
don't.
I think that's a compliment.
Yeah, I don't want to be known as the air balloon guy.
Balloon boy.
I'll take it though.
Can you imagine watching a hot air balloon race? Dude, if they're like bumping down, can you imagine a photo finish? A photo finish in a hot air balloon race?
What's the
Oh,
equivalent of a bike throw in a hot balloon race?
dude, you jump out of the balloon. Dude, they've got to bring some of these back. All right, next one. Just like poodle clipping.
What?
No.
Dude, yes, dude. They had a competition to see who could clip a poodle the best. Not like spay or neuter, like their fur.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm taking myself out of this one again.
I don't think any of us would do a good job with this.
Yeah.
I actually can't even clip my dog's nails, so I don't think I'm clipping hair.
Well, hey, Andy doesn't have the hair for it. Aaron, we've got poodle hair, so it's gonna be one of us.
I feel like I would go with you because you'd just go in with confidence but I think you'd do a bad job. You'd just do less
Yeah.
bad
Oh yeah.
than either of us.
All right, poodle clipping. Give it to me. Count it. All right, ready? This one I thought was a joke. It's not a joke. Solo synchronized swimming.
Synchronized to what?
Yourself.
There's got to be music.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but it's
Solo.
just you.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, you're out.
I'm out. It's swimming. I'm out.
I'm perplexed because, like, what's the definition of synchronized? I thought it was like at the same time.
That's why I thought it was a joke, dude.
Else.
It must be just
I don't even know how to interpret this.
Just like dancing in the water.
You don't have to interpret it. You just have to decide who's best at it.
I feel good here. I think a big thing with this sport is, if you want to call it that.
Andy's like, well, here's the 5 keys to solo synchronized swimming.
It's lung capacity though. Like you got to be able to be underwater, keep your face down. I can stay down.
So that feeds right into the next one, actually, which I thought would actually be really fun. I would agree. I think, Andy, you're taking this next one hands down. But distance diving, it's not for depth.
Oh.
You dive and see who can go the farthest. And
Distance
that one would be fun.
underwater?
I would not. Yeah, horizontal.
Underwater.
Underwater, how far can you get before you pop up? I would not be good at it, but I like that sport. That's a fun sport.
Yeah,
I like that one. I like my chances too.
Yeah.
Although when we all almost drowned in Costa Rica, Aaron was the first one out of the water.
Yeah.
He traveled best
Was he
underwater.
closest to shore?
If there's a current pushing us.
I don't remember. I just know we're lucky to have Mark alive now. Oh gosh. All right, I got one more, which is just like another one that, like, dude, why are they getting rid of these sports? These are incredible. Motorboat racing, dude.
Oh wow. Is this a team sport or individual?
I think it's individual. I think you got a little like cigarette boat. I don't know if it was a cigarette boat, but motorboat racing.
I bet people are dying off of that one. If it's one of those little, but I would go Jake.
Yeah, Jake, you got this. But have you ever driven a boat?
Jet ski, and people almost died. A lot of people almost died.
Yeah.
It brought me right back to the for my bachelor party. One of the things Aaron did was take us to a track, and we drove, a Porsche GT3 RS and a Lamborghini Huracan. And the first thing they said was like, if you hit a cone, it's going to be $3,000 for the paint. If you scrape the side skirts, it's going to be $10,000. If you do whatever, it's going to be $50,000. And Aaron was like, Jake's not even listening. Dude, as soon as you hit the gas, like every thought leaves my brain.
Also, it was my credit card that was down on the deposit.
That's why I wasn't worried about it. Oh man. Yeah, I think that one would be a really fun one. But yeah, so I guess the main reason I wanted to have this podcast is petition to the Olympic Committee. Bring back, now we don't need pigeon shooting, but bring back
Mm-mm.
obstacle course racing, hot air balloon racing, maybe solo synchronized swimming, and just food for thought. Capture the Flag would just enthrall Gen Z and Alpha. I don't know that for sure, but I'm taking a swing in the dark on that one.
I think everyone is with Gen Z and Alpha.
We're down to 37 followers.
For all we know, they might love that.
Oh gosh. No, this one was good. Food for thought. Remember, if you're a listener, your Olympic dream is not over. You're just looking in the wrong place. I know they do add new sports and get rid of a few every upcoming Olympics as well. So, we'll keep track of that. Maybe we'll have to do another episode of when we find out which sports they've added, which one we're picking from there. But any last thoughts on being Olympians?
I mean, I think my final thoughts are sometimes it's not because you aren't talented enough, it's because you aren't rich enough.
Mm.
Oh, for sure. Gen Alpha's going to love that, dude.
We're back.
We're back. Oh, man. That's good. All right, Andy, top that.
No, that was a fun podcast. No, I think in anything you do, just give it the full beans and you got a good shot.
Dude, so many beans. Not like I did in my bike race today. All right, folks, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like it and subscribe or share it with your friends. If you've got any ideas for us, any hypotheticals you want to hear us answer, please put those in the comments below. We've got a couple other ideas, but we want to know what you guys want us to discuss. So thanks again for listening. We'll see you next week.